Well, now, what have we here? This is the complete set of Rogue calibrated plates. They are beautiful. They are breathtakingly thin. They are bold. They are beyond expensive. Are they worth it? Absolutely. Let's talk about it. All right, so why calibrated plates in general, and then why the Rogue plates specifically? So to start off with, in general, well, first of all, if you are a competitive powerlifter, you've probably made up your mind a long time ago, and you don't need to see any videos to understand that you should be owning calibrated plates because you are competing with calibrated plates. So training with them makes the most sense because you train with what you're going to use in competition. And all powerlifting competitions use calibrated plates. They use kilograms, not pounds, but we'll get to that a little bit later as to why I chose the pound ones. But yeah, so if you're a competitive powerlifter, you more than likely already own calibrated plates. So this is not addressed specifically to you. But the next reason why you would want to buy calibrated plates is, have you ever gone to a gym that is foreign to you, and maybe you're trying to bench, you put 235 on the bench, and you're trying to do some reps on there, and you get that first rep, and it doesn't feel like 235. It feels like 300 pounds, and it feels really heavy to you. Well, there's a chance that the reason for that is because the 45-pound plates that you're using in that foreign gym are not 45 pounds. I know personally, I have experienced 45-pound plates that weigh as much as 51 pounds. I've seen 45-pound plates as low as like 40 pounds. They're all over the place. And that's the problem with standard plates. They're nominally 45 pounds or 55 pounds or 25 pounds or whatever. But in actuality, because of the way that they're machined, the way that they're manufactured, they can have a pretty wild discrepancy. So if you are a very unlucky person, there's a possibility that you threw those 45 pounds on there to try and innocently bench your 235, and maybe you were really unlucky and you were lifting 10 pounds more than what's stated. You were lifting 245 instead of 235. And to anybody who tries benching in 5-pound increments, you know that 5 pounds can feel like 100 pounds. Calibrated plates avoid that completely. They are a 25-pound plate or a 20-kilogram plate weighs 20 kilograms or 25 pounds. And they do it in the machining process. They're machined to such tolerances that they come very, very close to their stated weight. And then they are machined with little cutouts in the back that they put brass plugs in here to make up for whatever discrepancy is in the weight. So to the point where a 45-pound plate that's listed as 45 pounds will weigh 45 pounds. And I think they have most of these companies that make calibrated plates have guarantees that they're plus or minus 10 grams. That seems to be the standard. I have seen fairly recently guarantees of plus or minus 0.25%, depending upon the weight. But Rogue's plates are calibrated to plus or minus 10 grams. That's throughout the entire lineup. And that's kilogram or pound. And that's the way they do it. They put the plugs in there. They're brass on 5 pounds and up. They're lead on under 5 pounds. And you don't know any difference other than looking at the back and seeing these cutouts that are covered up by the stickers. But the advantage is you are lifting the exact weight that you think you're lifting. There's no ambiguity about it. So that's one big benefit of calibrated plates. Another benefit of the cast iron plates, and the biggest benefit for me personally, is their remarkable thinness. Because they are machined to such tight tolerances, they're designed to be the thinnest plates in the market. So if you think about your typical cast iron plates, those are 55 pounds I'm talking about. Those are 1.5, 2 inches thick, typically, that I've seen. Bumper plates in that range, 45, 55 pounds, you're talking 3 inches, sometimes as much as 4 inches thick. calibrated plates in general and the Rogue plates in specific are 1 inch for the 55 pound plate. 1.06, I think, is the actual spec. And it only goes down from there. That's the thickest plate. We're talking like 3/4 of an inch for a 45 pound plate. And I'll put the chart, the thickness chart on the screen so you can take a look. But suffice it to say, calibrated plates are the thinnest in the industry. And that's by design, because if you think about your deadlifting with a bunch of 55 pound bumper plates, and these are 3 inches thick, right? So you've got a couple of 55 pound bumpers on there. Let's say they're 6 inches, and you have, by comparison, 55 pound 1 inch plates. Well, you can have 3 times the amount of weight on the bar with the calibrated plates than you can with the bumper plates. Now, the downside to that, of course, is that bumper plates are designed to be dropped and absorb the impact, so it won't impact your flooring and your foundation, whereas calibrated plates are, of course, cast iron, and they are extremely heavy, and they're going to be extremely hard on your foundation. So you have to make sure that you have a solid enough flooring option to be able to absorb that impact. Otherwise, you're going to do, and I have actually seen this. A friend of mine had a cracked foundation from deadlifting using, I don't actually think his plates were calibrated. I think they were just regular cast iron, but he cracked his foundation because he wasn't doing it on a platform, and he didn't take the precautions that I'm talking about now. You have to make sure that when you're using iron plates, but specifically cast iron plates, if you're going really, really heavy, that you have the proper foundation to support the weight of this. Otherwise, it's going to be a bad time for you. So why did I choose Rogue plates, Rogue calibrated plates, and why would you choose Rogue calibrated plates over another brand? Just to set the table here, there are probably 6 or 7 different brands of calibrated plates out there. I am fairly certain that almost all of them are made in the same factories in China. They're all, as far as I can tell, just about all calibrated plates are made overseas, specifically in China. And again, as far as I can tell, most of them come from the same factory or related factories, because they are, generally speaking, very similar plates. They're cosmetically a little bit different, but functionally and statistically, they're all very close to one another. The only exception to that I can find, and that I've been able to see with my own eyes, is Eleiko. I'm pretty sure Eleiko makes their own plates, because they're manufactured a little bit differently. The paint is different on them. They just have a little bit of a different look to them. The reason why I chose to go with the Rogue plates, simply put, is they are one of the only manufacturers that makes calibrated plates in pounds as opposed to kilograms. And before anybody gets on me, I have no issue whatsoever with the metric system. I actually use the metric system for almost everything, except my weight on the plates and miles. I don't use kilometers. But everything else is grams and millimeters and centimeters and all that. For me, I like lifting with pounds. I have been ingrained with the lifter's math since I was like 16 years old. You know, I'm sure like everybody else, you can recite it, the weight stacks like the back of your hand, you know. 45 plus 45 is 135, 225, 315, 405, 495, like that. So converting it wouldn't be difficult, but it's just not something I want to do. I just prefer pounds. I know that Bells of Steel makes pound plates that I've been able to find. I was researching it before I started filming this. I know that, or I have seen that Hansu has made calibrated pound plates in the past. I cannot find them whatsoever on the site. So as far as I can see, it's Rogue and it's bells of steel. And in that shootout, I would take Rogue in a heartbeat because, number one, they are essentially the same price. I think they are, for the 55-pound plates, and I'll use that as a reference. They're about $300 for both of them, for either the bells of steel or the Rogue. And I love Rogue's machining. They are made, as I said, all calibrated plates are made to some really tight tolerances, but Rogue specifically mentions that the barbell cutout is 50.4 millimeters in diameter. And that's a big deal if you like to have your plates go on the barbell with a very tight fit, which is great for deadlifting because, you're putting the plates on there and it's on the ground. There's no slop. Like there's no wobble. You put the plate on the barbell. It's not moving around on the barbell on the ground. There is very, very little play because of the such tight tolerance with the opening. It's the same thing on the barbell if you're bench pressing. Getting these on and off is satisfying. It is very, very. It's just a good fit overall, and I really like the feel of it going on the barbell. The one downside to that, actually, there's two downsides to that. Number one, I have seen on Reddit and I've seen on YouTube, if you have a barbell or a plate tree that is, to put it delicately, let's say a budget option, you might have an issue with the Rogue plates fitting on the barbell or the plate tree because the hole is such a tight fit that any deviation from the spec of a barbell sleeve is going to cause it to not fit on the barbell. So I've seen videos of these actually not fitting on certain low-end barbells or low-end plate trees. It's not an issue if you have, Texas Power Bar or Rogue or Kabuki or any of the other reputable brands out there for barbells or plate trees, but it's just something to throw out there. The second downside is the plates are all powder coated throughout, and that includes the inside. And so when you're going to put them on the barbell, this is going to wear. The paint is going to wear on the inside here, and it's going to rub off onto the barbell. And so the first, 2-3 weeks you're using these, you're going to have kind of a rainbow of colors on your barbell because the paint is going to rub off on the sleeve. There's really no avoiding that. It's something that I'm not sure why. Well, I know why they did it, because they powder coated the whole thing, probably by machine, and to make it so that there's no paint put inside would be kind of a waste of time for them. So they just paint the whole inside. But just understand that the paint's going to wear off on the inside of this, and it's going to wear off onto the barbell sleeve, and it's going to happen a lot for the first, I want to say, month or so that you get these plates. You're going to be wiping off paint from the barbell sleeve. It is what it is. So as far as the overall quality of the Rogue plates, it's typical Rogue. The powder coating is applied pretty uniformly. The one thing that I've noticed, and I've noticed this with other calibrated plates that I've actually seen with my own eyes, and that would be Ivanko and Hansu. They all have the same issue, and I don't even know if it's an issue. It's just an observation, and that is that when the powder coating is applied from the factory, there are sections of just about every plate, I don't know, you can kind of see it there, where little sections of the plate are a little bit smoother. The powder coating is applied a little bit smoother than in other sections of the plate. So it's nicely textured throughout, but there are these little parts of it that stand out because they're a little bit smoother than the rest of the plate. It's weird. I'm assuming it has something to do with the way it's applied, the powder coating is applied. It has nothing to do with the, there, you can see it there. It has nothing really to do with the aesthetics. I think they still look brilliant. It's just an observation. and it's not unique to Rogue, but the Rogue plates do suffer from this. As far as how they've held up over time, I've had all of these plates for, it's 2 years now, I would say, and I haven't really seen much in the way of chipping. I haven't really seen much in the way of any general wear and tear, other than, as I said, the inside of the plates the paint is going to wear, and the section of the plate that touches the barbell collar, that's going to wear. But outside of that, I haven't seen, and so I've had these plates when I also had my old Rogue rack, and on that old rack, I had a problem where I was kind of hitting when I was doing my squats and re-racking from my squats. Sometimes I would hit the plates against the uprights, and they haven't chipped because of that. There have been a couple of little scratches I've put on them because of that, but anyway, the bottom line, what I'm trying to say is the powder coating has held up very, very well. And even if you're looking at, so I use the 10-pound plates probably more than anything else, because I also use these. I have adjustable dumbbells that I use, and I have a bunch of 10-pound plates that I'm using for those as well as for general lifting. So the 10-pound plates have experienced a heck of a lot more wear than any of the other plates, and even these have held up very, very well. Very little damage, very little chipping, and this is over 2 years of use. And again, the only real wear spots that you're going to see on a consistent basis are around the sections that interact with the barbell or the dumbbell sleeve. Now, the one issue that I've talked about with Rogue in general in the past, and I will continue to talk about it, is with their shipping. Every bit of damage, it's not much, but every bit of damage that I have on my plates, and here's an example of it right here, it all comes from Rogue shipping. And again, it's not a big deal, but understand that when you buy from Rogue, I mean, there's no doubt in my mind they probably try very hard to mitigate shipping damage, but they don't generally do a great job of it. And so there's a chance that these things are going to arrive a little bit scuffed up and a little bit damaged. And I'm going to roll some additional footage of some of the damage that I had on my 55-pound plates when they arrived, and the 45s when they arrived. But just about every plate that I've gotten from Rogue has seen some degree of damage from shipping. Not a big amount, nothing to the point where I've had to contact them. Just little bits like this, something like this. It doesn't really bother me at all, and it's not something that I would ever contact them for. But just understand, the wear and tear on these plates is minimal compared to, if you put it this way, if you can get your plates to survive the shipping process from Rogue and get them into your house, you don't really have to worry about the wear and tear on them over the next 5, 10, 20 years that you own them, because they're going to hold up pretty well. All right, and now for the true purpose of YouTube, the obligatory unboxing. So I ordered 2 extra 55-pound plates, and they just arrived. They arrived in typical Rogue fashion. So, oh boy, we'll get to that in a minute. Boy. All right, anyway, here we go. The 55-pound calibrated competition powerlifting plate, made in China. The label says Rogue calibrated steel plate. I don't know if you can read that. It says, yeah, Rogue calibrated steel plate, 55-pound. By the way, as an aside, I have noticed with every calibrated plate on the market, including Eleiko, every one of them do this. They advertise these on their site as being steel plates. And I'm not sure if this is a marketing ploy. Maybe they think steel, saying it's steel might sell better. I don't know if people failed chemistry in high school. I'm not sure. But these aren't steel. They're cast iron. They're iron plates. And, you know, I mean, iron is a chemical element, and steel is an alloy. They are quite different. And, yeah, I don't know. I don't understand why they're calling these steel plates. If you go on Rogue's site, and again, it's every one of these guys do the same thing. Big bold letters, they'll say calibrated steel, but when you get into the details, it'll say cast iron. I have no idea why that is. It's bizarre to me. But at any rate, these are definitely cast iron plates. They are not stainless steel. Okay, with that, a little gripe out of the way, let's unbox this bad boy. All right, so when these were delivered from UPS, both of the boxes looked basically just like this. The plates were kind of hanging out. I hope it's in good shape, but just understand this is what I'm talking about with Rogue's shipping. You pay $50-something for shipping, and they're going to arrive like this. And they have every plate that I've ordered from them, from the 55 pounds down to the half-pound ones. It's bizarre, but they all have boxes that are mangled like this. I really don't get how they haven't fixed this by now. But like I said earlier, there has been, I'm pretty lucky, there has been minimal damage to them. So I've been generally pretty happy, but just understand, this is the one downside to ordering Rogue plates. When you order them, unless you are incredibly lucky, you're going to get a box that looks like this. And you just have to hope for the best. All right, so let's hope for the best. I'm just going to unbox this like a gorilla because there's really no reason to finesse it. All right, so you get this piece of, what is this, cellophane? I don't know what you call this. You get that. It's wrapped in plastic. And you know something? Despite the look of the box, this is actually, I think, in pretty great shape. We are very lucky. Oh, there's a little tiny ding. I just saw it. I don't know where it is. But yeah, these are in just about perfect shape. So that's I don't know. Rogue's hilarious. The world's worst shipping, but they generally have pretty good luck. Or I have had pretty good luck, because these are this plate and its matching plate, which I unboxed off camera. They're both in what I consider to be perfect shape. So good stuff. Very good stuff. Anyway, that's what you get. It's your plate wrapped in plastic, covered with this spongy foam. I really don't know what this is, but this type of material, and a box that is hopefully not mangled like this one was, but hey, it did the trick. So there you go. There's your unboxing of the Rogue 55-pound calibrated plate. It looks absolutely gorgeous. The paint, I love the finish of this. I love it. I love these plates. So there's your unboxing. So the overall question is, would I buy these plates again? And do I recommend them? And the answer to both is absolutely yes. You know, the weight training community is pretty interesting. If you think of any, certainly for me, any commercial gym that I've been in the past 15 years, every collegiate gym, every high school gym, if you think about your own private gym, What are you lifting with? Is it kilograms or pounds? I would say for 95% of the people, the answer is in pounds. And yet, when you say that you ask for a pound plate that is thinner, maybe a little thinner, and maybe has a little bit better accuracy, people look at you like you have two heads. And you say you want a calibrated plate in pounds and you're considered to be a witch. Well, I'm not a witch. I just want the most accurate plates and the thinnest plates that I can find. And in terms of pound plates that are calibrated, there are very few options out there. There's Rogue, there's Bells of Steel, there might be one or two others that I may have missed, but the bottom line is these are the thinnest pound plates that are out there. And in terms of accuracy, you know, I played the montage earlier of me weighing them. Of the 3 or 4, probably close to $4,000 worth of these plates that I have, they are all stunningly accurate, like perfectly accurate. Not even deviating by a gram. I have one plate. It's a 2.5 pound plate that is off by like 3 grams, 3.5 grams, something like that. And it kind of annoys me that it's off by 3 grams. That's the standard that Rogue has set here for these plates. So if you're looking for a calibrated plate in pounds, Rogue is it. It's the pinnacle of the group. And I think they know this because the pound calibrated plates never go on sale. I've seen them have the kilogram plates go on sale every Black Friday period that I've looked at over the past couple of years. The kg plates have been on sale. The pound plates I have yet to ever see on sale. They have shipping discounts here and there where you buy like 5 or so and you'll get like $5 shipping. But in terms of the plates themselves, they never go on sale. So I think Rogue knows what they're up against in terms of competition. Now, when you expand the competition to overall calibrated plates to include kilograms, that's where it gets a little trickier. You then start to bring in Ivanko to the conversation. You start to bring in Eleiko to the conversation. I think Eleiko and Ivanko, now it depends. It depends on the individual weight. But some of them are thinner than the Rogues. I can't imagine that they're any more accurate, as I discussed, but they can be thinner. But believe it or not, as expensive as these Rogue plates are, they are cheaper than either Ivanko or Eleiko. So they have that going for them. But I would say overall for a calibrated plate, I'd probably rank it Eleiko, number 1. And then it's a toss-up between Ivanko and Rogue, depending upon what you're looking for. But for me, for my money, and particularly if you're looking for pounds rather than kilograms, there's no comparison. I think Rogue is the best there is. So in my next video, which you can kind of think of as a part 2 of this, because it goes hand in hand with these plates, and they were kind of bought together for a very specific purpose. In my next video, I'm going to be reviewing the barbell that I use with these plates, and I will explain the reason why I think these Rogue calibrated plates, along with the barbell that I'm going to be reviewing, are in fact the very best solution that you could possibly have for your home gym. It's a bold statement, but bear with me. It'll all be explained in the next video. And I hate to do it as kind of a teaser, but the barbell video is definitely a standalone review, but it is really, really closely aligned with these plates. It'll all make sense when you see the next video, but stay tuned for that. In the meantime, that's pretty much all I have to say about these Rogue plates. They are an outstanding plate. They are expensive, but you know, if you think about it, these plates they should last you a lifetime. I don't expect any kind of issues with the wear on these, excessive wear on these over the next, bunch of years. And as far as a value play, yeah, they're expensive. And yeah, you pay for Rogue shipping, which is not the greatest, as I've talked about, but I think they're worth it. And when you see the next review, hopefully it'll be very clear that they are, I would argue, a significant value play in the home gym arena. So that's it. Thanks. Hope you enjoyed the video. I will see you in the next one. Oh, such a beautiful sound.